ice coat, white coke. How you live with that smoke? Hop in, jog in. I'm just kidding, I'm broke. Still a lot, I've been waiting for the day I don't get my pay. Check will make me happy instead of me getting laid. Never done in the middle with a gun. Put a hole in his chest, put a torso don't fall right in the sun. But until the desert does, we don't have no fun till we chillin' at my graveside. I'll be wishing I'm dead. I've been missing my friends. Get me out of my head. All the letters I sent. I'll be wishing I'm dead. I'll be wishing I'm dead. I've been missing my friends. Get me out of my head. All the letters I sent. I'll be wishing I'm dead.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Another exciting week.
Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
happened. I mean, it's boring. So this will be a fast episode. Nothing happened.
All right, I think
Oh.
I sent you the thing.
You did find it. Okay.
Okay, cool.
We'll use that later.
Yep.
It's kind of funny, but we got to start out before people come in. Best joke of the week, I think. But oh, I'm sure a lot of people don't think this is funny, but it is funny though. All these ICE raids right away as soon as Trump took over.
Mhm.
How did they know where all these criminals were immediately? It's almost as if ICE knew where these people were and some force was preventing them from doing their jobs. Because they cracked down, they immediately knew where a lot of these criminals that they wanted to grab were that were illegal immigrants. But just saying, but oh, it's gonna be quite a 4-year run here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Foo Hat's here.
Think of all the headlines.
Our friend, we miss you, UK Warren Buffett.
Mhm.
Come back. You're not big. Come back.
Wait, he's not? Okay,
No.
because I don't know the full details of like.
Oh, he
behind the
can come
scenes
back.
stuff. Okay,
Can't watch live. Oh,
it's all good.
on
Like,
vacation.
yeah.
Vacation is off. You get back in here.
Oh,
Dividend Bowl. Hello.
dividends.
See you. And that's it for now.
Yeah, yeah.
Friday nights are probably the worst night to do these things. I always end up getting to this point because it's busy, but
Mhm.
people just want to break. Plus, you can't really, I don't know, maybe they're trying to get alpha. Be better to do this stuff like Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I guess. We were all trying to figure out what the fuck we're going to do that time. Monday comes around, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, market's crashing. Oh, fun. So, all right, we should just get into it, right?
Yeah, we're fine. Either or.
So, I mean, obviously, people can go watch hour-long tech videos on DeepSeek, and what this means, you can go read huge posts on it. So, or you can listen to me. But some of the things I think are kind of interesting, like it's just kind of like just taking it in over a week. The DeepSeek idea, it's just like it disrupts the idea that we've been living with in the last like 2 years. Like we've just been used to ChatGPT, doing these big models and NVIDIA selling all the chips. Like that's been it for 2 years. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh no, wait, here's something from China, like out of the blue, which wasn't really out of the blue, but I just sent a shockwave through the whole system. And then we can go through some of the details. It's not just a different model. It's also almost, some people could argue like a paradigm shift in what all the spending will become. Because we feel like it's just all this mass spending, but it's like, what is this leading to? We're all like, that's the part, we're still in the early stages, right?
Mhm.
Everyone's just dumping billions of dollars in data centers and language models and stuff. And it's like, okay, what is this gonna, at some point, everyone's like, it's gonna stop. I don't know why these people keep thinking it's gonna stop like right now, the spending, because we'll go through some. I've been pretty consistent on what I think of it, but we're in the early innings of this whole thing. The time for just to me, like efficiency is not relevant to this conversation. Everyone's just building out the infrastructure for it. AI agents, LLMs, data centers. It's like it's all just being mass produced, and it doesn't have to actually produce any product at this point. It's kind of irrelevant. But you see, like this was the shock. I remember when everyone's like, DeepSeek costs $5 million. Okay, did it really? I don't know. And then they claimed that they built it on less GPUs than OpenAI, and they said that it was the lesser ones from NVIDIA because of the trade embargo. Okay, sure. Whatever you want to believe. But so this is the part I think that sent the big shockwaves. Inference costs were much cheaper for DeepSeek. So the idea is it runs it runs cheaper, right? Which, if you believe this is going to become some sort of commoditized product, which my fight on commoditized thesis, everyone's just looking for a product to call a commodity these days. It's like we're in the infrastructure build-out phase, early innings of this, and now people are already talking about AI being commoditized, which I'm just laughing inside. It's like, okay, but so it was cheaper to make, it was cheaper to use. So if you believe some sort of commoditization of the product, this could be beneficial. And then we know that NVIDIA crashed because everyone's like, wait, so it uses less energy, it costs less, it used less GPUs to train it. So this is going to affect like the energy. Maybe we don't need as much energy as everyone thought. So we saw like a lot of the energy producers crash. NVIDIA crashed, Broadcom crashed. But then we look, okay, who didn't crash though? It's like the actual users of this technology, like the toll roads, like Apple, Salesforce. Interesting. But okay, we've blathered about this, but what we were talking about basically, I don't think anybody was like I didn't know if this would turn around on a dime.
Mhm.
Like August 5th, I was like 99% sure that was such bullshit, that Japanese currency exchange.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, I was like, I've never been so confident of a bullshit like drop in the
Narrative.
markets.
Yeah.
I was not that confident this time. But I mean, first of all, like it's China. So like people are like, oh, this DeepSeek is revolutionary. It's like, okay, who's trusting their company or their business on a Chinese backed model, right? And then people started making jokes about how if you use it, it censors the answers. So then there was like an uncensored version you could get, but
Yeah, it's funny because like in the context of this one, how much weighting you're gonna put on and trust questionable, being charitable here.
Mhm.
But like the other thing though that's important to note though is this stuff is hard.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, VHS or Betamax, like Betamax by a lot of nerdy spec, as far as like specs goes, as far as quality for the customer, people said no, Betamax was the way to go. Lo and behold, VHS, won. And at the end of the day, who cares? Because we've gone from there to DVDs to Blu-ray to oh wait, everybody streams, so no one cares. And
That's the part I think that I'm taking
mhm,
from no one knows what all of
yeah,
this, where is all this going?
yeah,
We don't know.
yeah.
People are
So
just guessing.
it is
Like,
tough.
where's the money? Where
Mhm,
is the business? Like
mhm,
all this infrastructure and billions of dollars spent, we don't know where it's going. So my approach has been kind of just to buy the companies that I think just benefit if
yeah,
they benefit from everyone benefiting. Like they don't pick winners. So
mhm,
like KLA, right, does the testing of the equipment that semi companies use. They don't care who wins to some degree. They're testing all of them. Micron, right? It's making
yeah,
memory for everybody that needs memory. Who else? The HVAC players, right?
mhm,
Who cares what data center? Who built the data center? They all need climate control. So it's kind of in my way to push through this. Um, but
yeah,
I I bought Nvidia because I don't believe. I don't think there's really such a huge paradigm shift. I just know
no,
people are
no,
skittish.
Yeah,
I don't
like
believe this Chinese
right
model
now.
changes a lot.
Yeah.
It's still an arms race. Like we're not in, and that's where I'm at. Like this is an arms race. Nobody's trying to be efficient with these models or their spending, right? This is
Mhm.
just spend as much as you can on this as fast as you can and hope that it creates a competitive advantage for you in the future, which we'll get to some comments about this. So in an arms race, we're not at the efficiency point yet. This is like if you think about the streaming wars. Did anyone care? What did people care about in the beginning of the streaming wars? All that mattered was how many subs you got, right? And they were charging $5 a person. They didn't give a shit how much they charge. It was just about how many people can you get in your network. And then the dial turned at some point where it's like, okay, now it's not about subs. Now it's about profitability and efficiency, right? And that dial turns, but we're not there yet. I don't think so. And we've said this before. Like I think the infrastructure data center AI thesis that we were all talking about, I'm fully confident it's going through the end of this year, and I'll reassess at the end of this year. There's nothing from last year all the way through, like all the build out, like everyone's already bought a lot of the equipment. Micron is sold out of their memory. All of these things are in place through the end of this year already. So when we get to the end of this year, we can be like reassess, I think. But so just my opinion.
Oh yeah, and the beautiful thing is that like not all of them, because some of them can be a bit of a pain in the rear end as far as earnings calls goes. But when it comes to any sort of guidance, we got an eventful week ahead of us where
Yeah.
like if they don't say it themselves, then it should be mentioned at least during Q&A, and that can be an informal gauge for people to plan things out. So, if you don't know, time will help reveal all.
And like I want to put, like, do we really know DeepSeek costs 5 million?
Yeah, yeah,
Chinese
yeah. Especially
companies
the way they did it
aren't
too.
aren't required to do gap
Yep.
accounting. So is this just a trust me bro number? Because people keep throwing this 5.6 million around.
Yeah, because
Okay,
it seemed
sure.
like the inputs for that was like very very niche, narrow,
Mhm.
and like it's sort of like how everybody knows adjusted EBITDA is some BS. Like, yeah, just based off of the what was disclosed in that report, it was highly questionable. So it's fine.
Like, yeah. So it's just this different.
Mhm.
It's just interesting because it's like nobody knows where this is going, and all of a sudden it's like here's a player that does similar things, but it's cheaper, more efficient, less computing power. And it shook just the model that everyone's been doing, where it's just like buy as many NVIDIA GPUs as fast as you can, as many data centers you can put up. You don't really know what you're gonna do with all of them, but more is better, right? And then nobody wants to be last, right? You don't want to be the first person to freaking put your firearm down. So they're all just spending away. And then this kind of rattled that thesis, I think, a bit for investors. Um, okay. But at the end of this year, I don't see what's going to change my mind. There's one thing that will change my mind. I tweeted it, so I'll cover it in a minute.
Yay! Shout out to your Twitter.
So I'll never be a person that tweets like 20 times a day. People are freaking autistic. I can't interact with people that much. That's all I'll say. I don't want to interact all day with people. So here's some other chat AI talking about you can go deep into this stuff. I mean, I don't think you need to understand all the tech just to understand how to invest. So I'm just picking companies that kind of just win across the board so far.
Yeah.
But like here's another diagram that shows what we're talking about. The supposed efficiencies of what DeepSeek is suggesting. So the costs per the product, let's say,
Mhm.
the output of their system is supposed to be much cheaper than what we've been used to, as you can see. Where's that going? Who knows? We're still in the early beginnings of this. And then what are you doing with these models? Like, what's the revenue? Like, what are they going to do that actually produces meaningful like income? And anybody's answer is fine right now because there's various companies going at different. I don't think LLMs are what's going to make money, but we're seeing like Zuckerberg talked about personal agents being brought on Meta. So that's his thesis. You have some companies thinking robotics is where this is going, or self-driving cars, and or you just bolt this stuff on your products you already sold. Some companies are doing that.
Yep.
And then they're the early, adopters, which could show cash flow right away, but was it really the AI, or was it the product you just bolted it onto?
Mhm.
So like Adobe or something like that. Okay, we'll show this clip. I should always, it's always good to have a break when you present of like a video or something, so you can like take a sip of water and rearrange your notes if you got lost. But
Yeah. Oh yeah. For
if you're
presentations.
presenting
Yep.
anyways.
Yeah. Certainly.
So this was another chart talking about like the efficiencies of DeepSeek.
AI startups and companies that are implementing AI in a way that the equation becomes much more enticing to a venture capitalist trying to invest in this stuff.
John, can we
I
chart
want-
on this cost versus performance that Alex could walk us through? This is from Michael Semblis at JP Morgan. Alex, I don't know if you had a chance to look at this, but can you walk us through what this means?
I mean, you're looking, okay, so what I'm looking right now is the input price, right? So you want to be about as far to the left on this chart as you possibly can. And that's where DeepSeek is. And basically what you're seeing here is that it's the cheapest model to run on the entire chart. And when it becomes that cheap and the performance is as good as it's been, you're in the sweet spot here. Because why would you, let's say, I'm going to go to the other side of the chart, Claude Sonnet, or something else, or the Claude Haiku, right, which is a smaller model. Like that's Anthropic's smallest model is Haiku. Why would you use something that's going to be 10 times the price or more, where you can use DeepSeek and it's cheaper and as performant or even more performant than that? And that's why everybody's like saying, okay, this could be a watershed moment for the industry, because it enables cheaper development, and its performance is about as good as what you're getting in the industry so far.
We don't know though. Like,
Yeah.
certain uses of these models could be just all that matters is the cheaper the output, the better. Like, that's the thing that matters for what you're doing. There's going to be other types of businesses though that quality is what matters, I'm sure. Like using this in professions where you can't make mistakes. So then it's like cost isn't necessarily the number one factor. Now it's like quality of the work. Okay, there's probably other models that are going to be better for that, where that's number one, and then the price is secondary. I don't know. I think people that like, we don't know. Like, this is like, it'd be like predicting how the internet was monetized. Like, if you went back to 2000 and how was the internet going to be monetized?
Yeah.
It took probably a decade to figure out how they were going to monetize the internet, and like Google with advertising and clicking and stuff. So we're in the early innings of this. It's fascinating. So you don't even have to pick any players. You could just pick like a large cap growth. You could just pick a large cap growth ETF, and you get a piece of all this action. You get a lot of capex spending if you look at something like SCHG. You have exposure to billions of dollars of capex into the AI. So, but I think this chart, like this kind of got me on board with like watch from CES. Like, where is this going? And this is like Jensen laid out his vision of it, which I think was just so interesting. So he has like stages, right?
Yeah.
Which is because his last stage, which I think is technically Elon's first stage, right? Tesla's first stage of AI is like supposed to be robotaxis, you would think, but Jensen's saying that's like the end of this. So, and then you got Mark, Zuckerberg is talking about the agents, which is here, but he's pushing that issue. So like everyone's like kind of shooting at different directions. Then you have some companies focusing on maybe like LLMs or the medical purposes, diagnostics, which he has down here, agents, and what a time to be here. Digital marketing, so increasing efficiency of marketing, which seems like Meta's doing that really well right now. I don't want to show that. Okay. Well, it's funny too, because I looked at the news and a lot of retail, like when the market dropped, like I looked at some of the stats, like in Robinhood, like retail investors were not fleeing the market. They were dumping money into stuff. Like it's a new world because in the past, right, people would see a huge drop in the market and they'd flee.
Yeah,
Um,
but
but it's like we've taken so many freaking, beatings in the last few years. It feels like the modern investor, like for better or worse, when they see blood in the water, they dump it, they dive into it now. So it's like these
buy the
drops are
dip.
more. I think drops like these have to be algorithmic, where these companies are like, if some sort of the algorithm sees something happen, it just sells. I'm convinced. I don't think these are retail sell-offs so much anymore. Like in the old days, you could just say that,
Yeah.
but Robinhood would tell you otherwise. So, oh,
Yeah, I think I'm a believer though in going forward. Like, just be a little careful with the whole buy the dip thing. Like, not you, Dan, but because you already know that. But hopefully, I'm just like preaching to the choir here. Just
like for
because,
me though, like when you buy into the dip,
yeah,
you want to buy your best to me, like anyways, you
mhm,
buy your most high conviction. You don't buy the thing that was slaughtered the worst because you think everything's going to rebound.
yeah,
To me, you buy your what do you have that are pre-established? Uh, what do you whatever like high conviction companies that that you want to buy, but they're like you already screened it. You want to buy it at a certain price below what it is, but like it's not the time to dump your money into something that you don't know anything about, like VST. Um, just because Nancy Pelosi bought it, you shouldn't buy it if it crashed. Although
yeah,
it did recover a bit, but
yeah. Because like what like here's one that's like vaguely in this space, but not really. Would be like Intel. Like that
Apple,
had
yeah.
some dips. Like, should we really be in a rush to buy? Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
no.
It was revealed they were faking how much it really costs and how powerful it really is. I don't know anything from fucking China, so I don't care what they say. I'm like, sure, whatever you guys want to tell us. You were building it on the lesser chips, okay? After, did you see some Chinese dude just was bragging about having the full, like the normal GPUs from NVIDIA?
I did not see that one. No, but
I saw it. Someone posted it, and everyone's like, that guy got disappeared after that. I'm pretty sure. Like, holy shit, you idiot! Don't reveal what. I mean, I'm sure they figured out how to buy these things through like Singapore or something, or
yeah,
Australia. Was real, yeah. Okay, we just said that.
yep.
And I bought SCHG on the DeepSeek dump. When in doubt, SCHG or Vong or the Russell 2000 growth one. I don't like. I don't.
Yeah, that one probably has a little bit too much.
Vong or SCHG. I don't. If you're like in your 20s, I don't see why that's not your core. I like we're in the early innings of these build outs. This is going to be like the next decade. It's amazing.
Yep.
Why should you be careful by dips? Stocks always go up. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think I used Intel as
markets always
great
go
example.
up. Individual
Yeah.
stocks,
Yeah.
some of them don't.
Yeah, I
Like
think
Intel.
was prime example. Like, where the narrative on that company specifically, I think, is legitimate.
And this like he mentions here,
Mhm.
right? You need to like why did it dip? You need to have that baseline understanding of what the company does. Um,
Yeah, because dumb narratives.
I could
flare
go
up all
so
the
far.
time.
This could take 30 minutes talking about turnarounds. So,
Yeah.
like understand why. Like a lot of I will see people do videos, and they'll just be like, "Oh, the stock dropped 30%," and then it's just like it's cheap, and then they go into their analysis of the last 5 years, and then they ramble about like future analysts. This is like typical YouTube. So they look at the last 5 years after they notice it dipped a lot, which means it looks undervalued based on metrics. They pull up. Then they look at some analyst projections, which then they'll make fun of analysts later. And then they will say that it's cheap and they will buy it. It's like there's no recognition of why did it drop? Why did it drop? And why are things getting better? Because it obviously something happened. So why do you think it's turning around now? It's like there's no discuss. I see occasionally people talk about that, but it requires thought. Like you can't just pull up some charts and ramble about why they got destroyed. Like People go look at my Nike video. Like I thought I did a pretty fair job of explaining what happened to Nike. Like go compare that to someone that actually does a video where they're saying that they want to buy Nike. Do they mention any of the negative stuff that happened? Like at Nike, how did Nike get to the point where they really, it wasn't an accident. Like nobody just coincidentally took their market share. No, there was poor decision making along the way, and it didn't get reversed. The CEO got fired over it. But just because there's a new CEO, okay, what's his vision? And I can destroy people on that shit. We can destroy someone right now if you like.
It is your show, and
Someone that I've attacked before, I could beat him over the head again. I'm kind of waiting for something to happen before I break. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all good.
So in summary, I don't know. It all worked out to buy everything that dropped, went back up, I guess. So
yeah, still time, plenty of time.
So if you did no analysis, you bought everything that dipped 20% on Monday, you probably did really good. So don't listen to me. I'm just an idiot. I know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. All right, what? Just like the old days, bringing up stuff.
Yeah.
I know nobody wants to talk about this one. I should be brief.
But
nobody cares. I mean, this matters more to your life than anything about stocks, honestly. So this federal freeze. So just to tell, like I work in grants. I'm literally in this space. I work with federal grant spending, and I have friends work in the federal government in different branches. So, and the teachers and stuff. But this whole freeze, like that memo came out at like 10 o'clock. I think it was Tuesday night. I'm trying to remember. I might be wrong. It came out at like 10 o'clock Monday or Tuesday night this week. So I got hold of it. I was about to go to bed, and I'm like, what the F is this? What do you mean freeze funds? That's not how the government works. Like for people that like, that's not how the government works. Congress creates a budget, and like every entity in counties, towns, your state, everybody works this way that I know for the most part. You have a board, or you have some sort of assembly or something like that, trustees. So they create a budget, right? And they vote on it. And then you have an executive, call him whatever, director, mayor, president. They then take that budget and they spend the money in the way that was, put in the budget. That's how it works. They don't get to change the budget. They don't get to stop spending money because they don't want something in there. That's not how government works in the United States. So this has already been fleshed out in the courts. This happened with Nixon. So this has already been put through the courts over the last like 60 years. Like there's many cases on this. Presidents and executives cannot just hold funding because they want to. And because think about it. You have an executive come in that's the opposite party of, like the board or Congress, right? So then they're implementing a budget of things they don't want to spend money on. So this has been fleshed out in the courts. And his reasoning was he wanted to assess, and I got the list. So there was this huge like spreadsheet where you have to talk about every grant in America was supposed to talk about like what part of their spending was related to immigration. Not all immigration, they're illegal immigration, and then DEI, the Green New Deal, and stuff like that. Like they could have gathered this information without the freeze. So that was kind of weird. But this would very much affect all of you out there. There's so many things in your life that are federally funded or federally backed, and you have no concept of it. And the idea where they're like, oh, well, this, and the memo itself, like, when people hear, so when you hear, oh, Trump signed an executive action and the news will tell you it did this, it almost never does exactly what the news told you, because the news is trying to be very succinct. They'll be like, this executive action required this. It's like, no. Usually it's like, hey, you go study this, the impact of this, and report back in 30 days with a plan. Like that's an executive action. Like it's way more vague than people think. It's not a law. Like, and even laws, a law is written, and then there's usually a period where regulations are written because you have to figure out how the hell to enforce a law. There's like could be 2 years before regulations are created, and the regulations are just how you actually enforce the law. So like this came out and this made no sense. Like, and this caused chaos because it's like a lot of systems just went off. I think I was reading some of the healthcare reimbursement systems in the federal system just shut down because nobody knew what to do. So when in doubt, just stop, right? That's how government. If you don't know, you're just not going to do it because no one wants to be the guy that said go ahead. So this just like everybody was just like pause, like what the hell is going on? And I don't know if people realize, but like you can't have these entities don't have huge cash reserves. Federal law or federal regulation, not law. You can only have a certain amount of cash on hand. The system is designed so nobody gets huge. You're not supposed to get huge piles of cash from the government when you have a grant. You're supposed to be spoon fed as you go. Like, so maybe you get bi-weekly or weekly or monthly payments, and you're only supposed to have enough cash just to operate for short term. So, I mean, this would have spiraled out of control real fast. Like in my organization, like they only have 5 days of cash on hand from us. I mean, these organizations can have money on their own set aside, but this was nuts. And then also Elon Musk. Did you know what happened? So Elon, the fork in the road email.
Oh, I
I
did
talked
not.
to my friends about this. Elon Musk just inserted a freaking email server into the freaking Office of Budget's system.
Oh
and
yeah, the
started
OPM thing.
spamming emails to like everybody. So all of a sudden, my friends are just getting all these emails, and the emails were like saying that they were from the Office of Management and Budget, but then they were getting a banner saying it was from an external source. Like I get that too. If I get a big banner that says it's
Yep.
external. So it's like it was just chaos, and it's like they're being attacked. Like it's just no other way around it. I feel bad for them because, and I've been through like I've had Governor Cuomo. Cuomo was completely hostile to the unions. I've been through this, not nearly like what they're going through now, but like I've lived with a governor that was openly hostile to my union, and he literally told our union reps to like fuck off. Like they told us this in meetings when we would do shop meetings. So he's openly hostile. He threatened layoffs during the recession. We got pink slips because there was a contract dispute, and he put out layoff notices over it because he was like, "You're gonna have cost savings in your union contract," and he was like, "There's no negotiating. You're gonna save me money, or I'm gonna start laying people off." So, yeah, this is like it comes with working for the government to some degree. I mean, you get a new boss every 4 years or 2 years. So there was a guy that ran for the governor in New York that was going to whack like 30% of the budget. Yeah. His name was Carl Hestes. He was like a friend of Trump's, I guess, back then. So I could have gone through the same thing they're going through right now. And you can't just openly lay off government workers. And this is why they have protections, because they have to go through stuff like this. You don't have to feel sorry for them. That's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Should be careful buying the dip. Yes. I already grabbed that one, didn't I?
Mhm.
Algo only wants to feed good news or doom news. Doom news sells.
Yep.
I sold a bunch of puts on TSSI as well. Sold. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my golden child. For Monday, I bought NVIDIA and I went bananas this week into TSSI. I thought it was like there's no slowdown to the data center build out of America. This is my opinion. Okay, fine.
Mhm.
I'm just like, I don't give a shit about what China does. Like we're in an arms race. No one's gonna flinch right now.
Company
Nobody.
v company.
All these big
Yeah.
companies are still
Yep.
full speed ahead. No slowing down. We also apparently changed the constitutional executive order. Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of stuff's going to the courts. This is going to be an interesting few years.
Yeah.
We need Trump in the UK. Doomed. Oh no.
Brexit means Brexit, apparently.
And look, I mean, some like I think like Trump, the immigration reform. That's why he was brought back. I'm convinced the immigration was necessary. The reforms, like they were taking over. They were bringing immigrants from New York City up to my area.
Mhm.
It was crazy. Like they're everywhere, and it was just like there was no one was in control. It's just It was so frustrating the last few years with Biden. TSSI. Everyone should just report the emails as phishing and they could dodge, go through the phishing emails at first. Oh God, that'd be funny. Yeah,
Funny.
I think I can't even imagine what you'd be thinking to sign that fork in the road email. But it's not like a bonus or a payout on retirement. Like it would have just been, I think, you would have stayed as a government employee. I think they would have just said you have no job duties, but you're just fully remote till September and then you're gone. It would have been some weird thing like that. I love Brexit. Oh no. I haven't been following the liberal governing of UK recently. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
You gotta bring this up.
Yeah,
What the I shouldn't swear a lot.
I just recently saw.
So he changed his thumbnail after the video came out. So, but I got it before because he does this. He does a shock value freaking thumbnail. But the video's still there. This is only like 3 months apart. So, and then let's go to the video. And then to make matters even worse of how he's still the worst investor on YouTube. It's not even close. Like it's not even close. Just by the sheer amount of money he's lost investing, there's no one even close to this. So this is his video this week. 33 stocks ready to explode. Okay, he's saying these are stocks he wants to buy or buys, which we all know this means he's selling friggin' options like a retard.
Oh, shout out Intel.
All these other companies, guys, these are all. I mean, this is my best performer, and
wait a minute. I thought it was a fraud. Apparently, but he's buying SCHD. Silly me for doubting the greatest investor on YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry. That lost $10 million shorting NVIDIA. But no, he's buying something he called a fraud. And people gave him shit in the comments. I'm so glad. I can't because I'm banned. So, did they delete some of these comments? Let me go to the popular. There were some funny comments.
Someone asked how's Walgreens.
Let's look at some of these stocks. It's just like Intel. We know. I did a video on this. He was buying Intel in like the 50s, and then he freaking lied about. So he did a typical Paul thing. He bought it in the 50s, then he sold it. And then when it crashed, he bought it again, and then he bought it like in the 40s and tried to brag about it in videos saying that he was so smart about buying it. Then it crashed again. But this is what he does. Then he sells it all and then he'll buy it again and say that he's a genius when it recovers, just completely omitting that he got wrecked on the stock in the past. BTI, go F yourself. That's not yours. 3M, if he did hold 3M from when he originally bought it, he did. Okay, that's not a bad one. Target shit, Nike crap, Adobe. He was so smug about Adobe. It's down like 20-ish% since he bought it. He's buying it on its cratering the last few months. I think Adobe is a bad move. I don't think they're going to do well. But PayPal. I mean, just look, it's such a bunch of boomer garbage. Some of these. He's owned this forever. Southwest. It's the worst airline stock. The airline stocks all did amazing in the last few months as travel's exploded in America and they've adopted more premium options, right? But we looked at it like 2 days ago. They're the only one that did like shit. United, awesome. Like Delta's done well. American Airlines, all spectacular. They're the one that did the worst, which is funny. So you got to hand it to Paul.
Yeah. I don't see the cruise liners there anymore, Paul. Thought you were a long-term guy.
Yeah, he's a long-term Boglehead that does contracts. We can't forget.
Yeah, just like oh well. Yeah, that guy.
How much time we got? Okay.
Yeah, we got plenty. Like 20 minutes.
I don't want to go too far. Well, I'll leave at the end. Ramble. I like to ramble at the end for 10 minutes. We don't want to waste people's time. This is always. So anyways. All right. Who's here? I'm just losing my train of thought. Dude, oh, the man.
Yep.
Dude, Stan, we've got to do I should message you. We should do a freaking live stream or something, because I know you've got some opinions on Paul and that video. I saw your he had a comment that got a lot of freaking positive if I can find it. It was the most lunatic thing, like to call an ETF a scam that just invests in 100 high quality dividend companies. Like, it's so, like, there's a lot of scams out there in investing, and that's not one of them. Like, Paul doesn't even understand what a scam is, I think. I mean, pretending you're a guru that knows how to invest is a scam to me. That shorts of Nvidia and loses $10 million. Where is that video? Hopefully he didn't delete it. Oh yeah, so here's the new thumbnail, right?
No.
He had to change it. Here it is. Here's Stan. Yeah. I understand you want to educate people at risk chasing dividends, but calling SHG a scam, that's clickbait, completely untrue. Are you seriously suggesting it's a scam? I get this part of YouTube market strategy to grab attention if you're extra box. Well, obviously, because he changed the thumbnail already.
Yeah.
So, so freaking bad.
You got the standard GC reply.
Like,
that's how you know it's a Paul YouTube channel.
How is it a scam? We can go. Okay, how about Yield Max is a scam? Like, you want to talk about a scam? Like Yield Max. What else? Meet Kevin's PP is a scam because it's bullshit. He doesn't even invest the way the freaking ETF was set up. Pricing power. That's a scam. Freaking, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Should we delve into? I'm going to delve into just like two things about Tesla.
All right.
And then we can calm the F down.
Was it about like a calendar year, or it certainly was last year, where we like suffered through an earnings call and we all laughed our asses off? And
he was like on a ketamine trip or something, and he said a bunch of nonsense.
It was really bad.
But like, what's changed? So like fundamentally, I mean, all the things that we said are pipe dreams a year ago, none of it's come to fruition. So what's changed? He got into politics and he got in the pocket of the president of the United States. I mean, that's really what changed. He paid for a president. So I guess you could say that deserves a multiple increase on your Tesla. But the way things are going, Tesla or EVs in general are not selling well. Like, I'm convinced, I don't think the public wants these things. I think they're being pushed on us in a lot of ways. If they lose EV credits, man, like a lot of them are just going to scrap it, I think, which might be good for Tesla, actually, getting rid of the EV credits because they're like the only profitable EV maker. But nonetheless, we look at this quarter is just a monstrosity, and the stock went up. So I guess who cares? Just throw your value investing book in the garbage. Like we always have the meme. Take your value investing book, just throw in the garbage right now, people. So like, it's like a bunch of red. Energy business is still doing well because it's doing well every quarter. Services, because they keep breaking. But revenue from automotive's down, right? Margins are down. Income from operations is down. What else? Cash flow down. So we flatlined, right? So it's not like a huge drop, but like it's flatlined their sales pretty significantly. But nobody gives a shit. Stock go up. So why does it go up? Well, here's from the earnings call.
Optimus, yes.
I mean, we called this is a year ago. If you believe this stuff is coming, you buy it and go rue, I guess. There's no proof any of this is going to happen, but who cares? Fundamentals don't matter. So it's not even worth arguing about. I don't. If you think he's got the magic sauce here, then God bless you. I guess you've already done well since the elections. The stock rude, but he's in his earning. This is from Elon during the earnings call. So he talks about like full self. He's going to start rolling out robo taxis, supposedly, even though Waymo is expanding to city on city, right? But apparently Uber or they're going to start this summer. And then he talks about humanoid robots. Humanoid robots, well, 1,000 times more useful than complex things like cars. That doesn't mean training scale. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So here we go. Optimus has a potential to be north of 10 trillion in revenue. Woo! There you go. Stock go up. Optimus is worth $10 trillion. So the fuck do we know?
In revenue.
From zero. So zero.
Yep.
From 0 to 10 trillion within our lifetime. So, okay.
Let's go.
I don't even want to fight about this stuff. I'm like, could it happen? I think you're smart. I don't know. The stock went from 140 to 400 in recent times. So
I don't know, like if I were to be a Tesla shareholder, I don't know what would be worse. Like setting aside Optimus. If FSD does not get out within a 4-year time frame, or if FSD does come out and it's an absolute shit show. I don't know what would be worse.
I don't know. Like, you still have to get through and the federal government, like, even if we suppose he does have his hands in the pocket of the federal government and he can get whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Like the Department of Transportation does not license these things to operate in states. They require safety features in cars. So like the federal government, I'm pretty sure, can like allow him to create cars that don't have steering wheels and pedals. But then again, the states still have to approve these things for their states. So the layers of complexity in licensing these stuff, we still don't have any reporting. Like I'm pretty sure they already got rid of the reporting that was being tracked about like accidents. You know, that's gone now. I'm sure it got actioned out. But like, so we're going from 0 to $10 trillion. That's what the stock is.
Yes.
I don't know. There's no in between either. Like, there's no wiggle room here. You believe it's worth nothing or $10 trillion. I mean, so here we are. So that's Elon. Full self-driving, which is not a thing. Again, it's not a thing. There is no full self-driving Teslas. You still have to sit in the driver's seat. So I don't care until you can sit in the passenger back seat. It's not autonomous. Like, it's not like Waymo. Waymo is doing this stuff in cities, growing, expanding, right? If Waymo was independent of Google, man, if we imagine what that thing would be worth. But it would depend on what the financials, though.
Sure.
How, is it even cash flowing?
Yeah, because
or does it still need the umbrella of Google?
Yeah, because Intel's Mobileye, when they spun that off, like it had buzz for a good while there, and that was Mobileye, like, and Intel.
But like you read his you read some of this, like I just like I keyword. I'll like look at Optimus and read what he said. I'm not listening the whole thing, but his vision is everyone in America will have one, every factory will have one, and that's just the way it is. And every car in America will be a robo taxi. So here we are, but they don't have the cash flow to compete with AI. That's the thing I've realized. Like, and you could see like they're the most expensive AI, I think, in that chart. They don't have the ammo. That I think they're wasting their time. But I know it's part of their system. They need the AI so they can train the cars, and then the cars, same software that'll train the robotics. So it's all supposed to go together. The problem is Jensen kind of has the same vision now as what he showed at CES.
Yeah.
That during CES, Jensen's vision is physical robotics too, not like the early implementation of NVIDIA and his idea of AI was like the LLMs and the agents. And then you could see on that chart, the later stages were all physical robotics and, logistics in the warehouses and stuff. So, and I think we talk about this too. No one is partnered with Tesla. Nobody. NVIDIA has partnered with Toyota, at least. They partnered with a few other major companies. Nobody's partnering with Tesla. So that's interesting because everyone else in this space kind of has their own little network bubble, I think, that they're working with. So Tesla's just sitting there by themselves. Maybe you think it doesn't matter. Elon figured it all out. VTI is a scam.
Woo! Go VT. Shout out Strongman.
Stan is game. Okay.
Yeah. Reference to your request. Yep.
Man, Lamb Weston. You know what's fun? Like, so many people wanted to buy Lamb Weston, which is like garbage commodity company, but yet they would call Micron a commodity, which is not. but they were fully willing to buy a commodity fucking potato. And then I loved it when they got wrecked. I enjoyed it. Fine goddamn potato company. And then, accounting fraud. What do you know? An accounting fraud at a potato company. And it dipped like 30%. I enjoyed that dip. And I drank to it.
Silicon chips are better than potato chips.
You know what's okay? Here's a definition of a commodity company. It's for me. I'm not even going to look it up in Investopedia.
Yeah.
A commodity company is a company where your customers control the price of the product, not you. There you go. That's a commodity company. Pretty much the easiest way I can explain it.
Poor farmers.
Potatoes. Who controls the price of potatoes? The customers of Lamb Weston control the price of potatoes. McDonald's, like the grocers, which are bigger companies. So
poor farmers.
I remember people used to tell us Tyson Farms, it dipped. You should buy it because it's a quality and cheap company. I'm like, it's a commodity company. Why are you buying commodities? Tyson does not control the price of chicken. Like, why would you buy a company like this? Unless you have some sort of inside information about like chicken prices. Ain't doing well now though with bird flu. Guarantee that. You guys need value the company based on the imaginary product. Yes. I mean, how do you value a company like Tesla where you're telling the CEO is telling you that the market for his robots is $10 trillion? I mean, I don't even know what you even say. Like, what is it worth? I mean, I guess you could say it's worth $10,000 a share if you believe that. Okay. But there's zero revenue right now.
10 trillion in revenue plus.
Everyone's going to have robotaxi instead of taking a taxi to work. I'll be paying to take someone else's taxi to work. Like the whole idea of like, you're going to park your car, push a button and let your car just go off into the darkness. And then when you wake up, it'll be back in your driveway and you'll have money in your pocket. And that will go just perfectly. Like no one's going to trash your car, slash your tires. You're going to sleep soundly knowing that you're, $80,000 car is out by itself. You're not going to freak out and stress about it. It's like, my God, to me, it's like Waymo is what I've envisioned the beginning of this stuff is. It's an expensive system. It's focused on urban areas that are very well mapped. I don't know.
Truly,
we're idiots. We don't know shit.
Yeah, truly, customers would never like rip a bong inside of your company.
Trade war. Okay, maybe we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh yeah.
I didn't put it in the topics. Maybe it's kind of like for next week because we don't know. I mean,
early rumble.
More of a next week topic at this point.
Yeah.
Also, more parking spots because all cars are stuck in traffic. Oh, I bought it. I made profit, and it's all thanks to you. Prove it or ban. I don't believe you. Fucking potatoes. If you send your car out, it's on its own. Be prepared to clean up after Dirty Mike and the boys. I know. How does an insurance company even insure this? If this even happens?
Oh, they'll be punitive. They gotta be.
Can you imagine? I wish I was a fly on the wall because I'm sure Progressive had meetings on this. How do you even insure a car that just goes off into the darkness on its own? There's no drive. Like, how do you insure this? Are you going to have to carry like a personal insurance policy for you and then a commercial policy for the robotax? Like, how are you doing this? And I still submit that Tesla is undercharging for their own insurance because the insurance for EVs is expensive. And I think they're trying to keep the price down, but that means they could be taking on more risk.
Mm-hmm. That's a big one.
So there's that. I think we've talked about Tesla way too much.
Yeah.
I just say earnings, like Meta, like people have go listen to Fabio and this is his baby. All I can say is I'm just appreciating it from afar. Like, because my exposure is just like S&P and SCHG for Meta. Holy shit. Like, look at this. So, and when I did some contracts on TLN with Andrew because to me, it was like, if Meta blows earnings out of the water, I'm going to make a lot of money because I think the whole thesis on AI is based on Meta. I don't think it goes around Microsoft. I think I think Zuckerberg is the king of this whole thesis on AI infrastructure build out. So, like, when do I believe the bubble pops? In Zuckerberg, we trust. I'm convinced. So, but like these numbers on the advertising revenue, like they're doing it right now,
Yeah.
using AI to increase efficiency of their ad revenue. So like they're someone that rubber's hitting the road, right? I think that's why the stock's doing so well. Like they're showing real tangible like benefits to this technology in their advertising revenue. So there you go. That's my opinion. And he's still spending on the Reality Lab. That's not going down. It's
No.
still losing money hand over fist, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like you compare that to all the other big numbers. Like, who cares?
I mean, the way their ad revenue is growing, like
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
who the F cares with
Mhm.
that revenue growth?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Dan, this is my short thesis against Meta. I'm gonna win. Like, come on.
Yeah, like I'm just sitting here in awe. This is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad I own this in an index. Unbelievable. So, the only other thing I want to say, so, oh no, where'd the transcript go? Okay. So I tweeted this.
Yep.
This is really my opinion. I tweeted this, I think it was Tuesday. Yeah. The only way the AI build out of America becomes a bubble or some kind of real pullback that I believe in, like a pullback, is when Mark Zuckerberg says that we were pulling back on capex at Meta. Any other narrative is FUD. That's pretty much it for me. So I don't care what the Chinese do. I don't care what anyone else does. The AI data center build out of America ends when Mark Zuckerberg says it ends. So that's it. Because I think he controls it. It's not the most money, but I think it's the most important build out. And it's the most important person in that space to me. So, and we can look capex. Where was the comment he had? 1 second. Right here. This is Zuckerberg from earnings. We want to continue to incorporate that into a novel. And I continue to think that investing very heavily in capex and infra is going to be a strategic advantage over time. In Zuck we trust. So, I mean, until this changes, I don't believe anybody that says this is a bubble or any sort of slowdown. I don't believe you. Until this changes, it's game on. And it's an arms race. No one's taking, and they're all fighting, right? And that like this is the essence of why I'm still bullish. And I think this is going to be a great year in the markets, unless Trump kills everything. But
yeah.
So there we go. We have $10 trillion of robots, and Zuck is just spending Zuck bucks like crazy. But and then, oh yeah, so you sent me this. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, that's about as good.
So this is JP Morgan comments on Tesla's earnings. I'm just going to read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's unclear to us why Tesla shares traded as much as plus 5% higher after market Wednesday, although we have some theories. Perhaps it was management's statement that it identified an achievable path to becoming worth more than the world's 5 most valuable companies taken together. Okay, and then the stats. Or maybe it was management belief that just one of the products has by itself the potential to generate north of 10 trillion in revenue, in quotes. It may have even related to management guidance in 26, parentheses, no financial targets were provided, but it said it would be epic. And for 27 and 28, ridiculously good. So
I
love the snark. I love it.
I do love the snark as well. It's just that like this is something that you would expect out of like a child, not like a room full of business people.
So this is JP Morgan scolding the most valuable car company in the world.
Yeah.
Like
apparently
the times we live in. This is freaking crazy. Unbelievable. He's scolding a company worth over $1 trillion.
JPM and the Tesla investors know, or the Tesla investors know more than JPM.
Oh, what a time to live in.
Yeah.
But
north of
I think that's it.
Love it. Gotta love it.
I am here for all of it. If Zuck can build an effective fact check, then what makes you think he's king of AI? Checkmate. I don't think he could build effective fact checking. That's why he got out of the business. Oh, so I didn't say he would be the best. Like, I'm not saying Llama's going to be the best. I just think, I mean, he's been kind of plowing. He's been like, to me, like the leader of the capex infrastructure build out, because he's the one out there saying, look, he's saying it in the transcript. He's like, I don't give a shit. He's like, I'm spending as much as I can on this stuff as fast as I can because I think there's going to be an advantage in the future. I don't think he even fully understands where we talked in the beginning. I don't think he even understands exactly where this is all going, but he thinks spending more is better for him in the long run. That's the important part. And then they got the agents coming, so we'll see. But like, they're going to have these huge capex spend outs on this stuff, and then he's going to start trying to, okay, what can I do with this? But I know I want to be there in that space, spending this money. Yeah, we'll see.
Yep. In the middle of it, because we still got more big tech earnings.
Mm-hmm. So any parting shots? Tariffs.
Yeah, I was gonna say tariffs and also MSTR
Oh.
preferreds if you wanted.
Last part.
Yeah, because
Almost forgot this.
Yeah.
No, this is the last thing I want to talk. I guess when we can talk about tariffs, but so this is hilarious. So they're doing preferred shares now. So I wonder if Citizen of the Year is still here. Maybe you can watch it later. He always lets me talk about MicroStrategy, but why? Like, so if they have unlimited, cash that they can borrow from the market to just buy more Bitcoin constantly, right? So they have those convertible notes. That's why they got so big. They offered these convertible notes at like 0.5 interest, basically no interest, but with a convertible option. So they were able to buy Bitcoin without having to pay because they don't have cash flow. So it worked. But then I think many people have talked about it. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. They have to get, for this to keep working, like more cash has to constantly come in, and they have to get more people involved. It's shaped like a certain thing. But so I guess now they're doing preferred shares, which, as we know, you have to pay some sort of dividend with a preferred share, right? $25 price. And then it's okay here, 8%. So I'm like looking at this. I'm like, wait, I thought you had unlimited cash that you could borrow from the markets at these convertible notes. I guess that's over. Because why would you do this? Unless you're finding it harder to find people willing to do those convertible note issuances. So, and I can look at their financials. Let's go look at the cash flow. So I'm just like, how are they paying a convertible fucking note? Okay, like they don't have cash flow. I'm like, so what are they paying this preferred share with? Hopes and dreams? Don't worry about it. Bitcoin go up. It's all right. And like, this isn't even anti-Bitcoin, because I've said, like, go buy Bitcoin if you like it. Like, MicroStrategy is nonsense. Go buy the damn coin, and then you can just hold it forever. So this makes no sense. MicroStrategy benefited from like Robinhood options traders, first of all, because it go up, and then options, it's highly volatile. So then you get a lot of premium. So lots of options. And it worked for a while until it's not. It's not going to work at some point, but it doesn't matter. I can't wait to get attacked. Look, I don't know. I'm on their side though. I agree. If you like crypto, buy Bitcoin. Like, MicroStrategy's nonsense. Michael Saylor is a psychopath. I don't care if the stock goes up. He's still insane. You listen to him talk, I just think he's nonsense. But the stock go up, so I'm an idiot.
What the true bull case for the preferreds, Dan, is they'll pay the dividend in Bitcoin.
God, no, they're gonna pay it in shitcoin.
All the crappy NFTs that failed. That's what the shareholders get.
Wait, how did this do? Okay, Melania meme. Can I pull up the chart?
That's a good question. Should be able to, one way or the other.
I don't know how this did. I'm pretty sure I know how it did, but okay, let's see if I can. Okay, this is the.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh
Ooh.
dang!
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
wait.
We both see the same thing.
I've seen this chart before. Oh my god!
Who
I
could have
remember
ever
when this
guessed?
first came out because I almost wanted to buy like $1,000 of it, but I didn't think it would pump like Trump's.
Yeah.
But okay, what about Trump's? Let me see.
Like a trustworthy broker in the space is one where I just like shrug my shoulders.
Oh, this one. Okay, let me see. Is it still holding up? Why is it not coming up? I don't know why it's not charting.
30-day? There might be a day tab. Oh, nope. I guess we've lost it.
Do they not? Because it's Solana?
Could be.
Trump meme chart coin. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, dang, it's down.
Yep.
I remember we were live when it released, and I was
Yeah.
I thought about buying it because it was like 1 a.m. I think it was $13 at the time. And I was thinking, I'm like, dude, this is Trump. I was like, man, I should put like $5,000 in this. And then I went to bed. And then I woke up and it was like 65.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, that's
shit.
too late.
I'm like, well, there's the end of that idea.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a slow death at this point. Like if you
Yeah.
buy, it's just going to start, like it's just going to do what every coin does. It's starting to just go down and it's going to get diluted. So, and I guess you can ride these little spikes and hope you're not the one that got had. So, but okay, tariffs, last thing.
Yes, tariffs.
The tariffs, I don't know. I've said that what he says is not the same as what he's doing for people. Like he says he's doing tariffs, right? You think they're doing like an economic warfare or something. He's trying to get immigration reform and broker a deal. So I don't know. Who knows? I think we're going to tariff Canada. I doubt it. I really do doubt it. We're not tariffing semis in Taiwan. I don't believe that for 1 second. Jensen's going to friggin' sue the soul. I think he did today. So he's like, this is all negotiating tactics, right? I mean, he is a businessman. So he put out that he wanted to, put tariffs on like semis coming out of like outside of the US to bring them to the US. And then all of a sudden Jensen shows up right at the White House. So, and then they had, he gets what he wants, negotiating. So we'll see with Canada. But like, there's real issues because like there are people coming across the border like never before in New York. Did my camera freeze?
It looks like it did.
Oh no.
It's all right. At least hear the audio.
Look at me. I'm frozen with my eyes closed.
You're squinting harder than me.
That's funny. You can hear me though, right?
Yeah.
But okay, I guess we'll end soon then.
Nah, it's all good.
But like there are like I've never heard of immigration problems in New York. And the last like 2 years, there was a problem people coming across the northern border into northern New York. Like it was starting to become a problem. So there's something there. Like why are the Canadians not doing more? So we'll see. And then obviously people know what's going on with Mexico. But
yeah.
Tariff for Alice 25, China. We will see.
Yeah, time will tell.
Time will tell. He could say he's doing something and it never happens. So, and the news will report he's going to do it, but then nothing actually gets done after. It's just words. But I don't know. I'm ready for anything at this point.
Yeah, because like you would think that if, like, for example, if I were a Trump supporter and I really hated the last guy, you would think, oh, in the spirit of drain the swamp, let's go after the last guy. To my knowledge, I haven't heard anything on that front. So,
my camera like overheated or something. Okay.
Ah, darn. So,
quite the way to fizzle out at the end.
It's fine. Like I think it was. I think it was still a great stream, though.
Yeah.
Lots of ground.
So I guess we'll see how tariffs go. Okay. Stay tuned.
Yep.
Ready for
Anything?
the unexpected.
Yeah. Anything you have in the works for the people to look forward to?
My wheel strategy is killing it. I will become the king of the wheel. So stay tuned, people. Of course, I had to sell my next version. My next wheel contracts had to end on Valentine's Day. And I bought them on the day that the freaking dip happened. DeepSeek death day. So I knew that I'm like, I should have maybe gone even more aggressive with the Delta. So I don't know. It's a funny thought because I'm literally trying to run a wheel strategy to collect income as a retiree because I might do this when I'm retired. I might put aside like 150 grand and just run the wheel. So
I think they're like having the right blend of a good framework, but also having like proper nuance is very important.
and I
'Cause-
will change how I'm buying
Yeah.
them based on
Yeah.
market conditions because
Mhm.
I'm not a machine. Like if
Yeah.
you wanted a machine doing this, there's funds that do this every month, the exact same.
Yeah.
Like Global X's QILD, I
Mhm.
think it buys at the money every month, all
Jeez.
robotically. Like so, there's no nuance or artistry.
Mhm.
But so I'll be curious. Okay, can I? Does it even matter at the end? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, because there was
Can I generate yield over them?
there was a nice Twitter thread that referenced like a fund or two like blowing up December 2020 or 2018 where like they just like consistently sold iron condors and
Oh my god!
yeah, like it eventually, like long story short, it ended up being a crowded trade and they kept going and going and going when they shouldn't have. They should have just stopped. And
And
they ended
that's
up
the thing
blowing up.
too. I might just stop.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to do them forever.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is really annoying. You know what? Let me leave studio and come back.
Alrighty. I'll be here to entertain the
Okay.
people. Yep. So while Dan's away, please do consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to Dan Wesson's YouTube and Twitter. Uh, yeah. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. I can't pull up comments. Bruh, 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 bruh. Do 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 do. Hi, Alex. Yeah, sadly I don't have the powers to pull up comments. Otherwise, I'd pull up some things. I'd be like, "Oh look, Andrew Marshall is here playing some Dota." Um, Slippery says maybe MSTR using the cash from the preferred shares to buy STY. the cycle. It's a circle that feeds into itself. Oh, that'd be quite a world we live in, wouldn't it? I think it would be. And then they have, hey, there we go, it works. Hooray. So yeah, we can end the stream properly.
Yeah, so here was my next one. So, which switching from SPY to QQQ, because like Jesse said, he's like, yeah, there's really no reason to do this overlay or this wheel strategy with SPY over QQQ. And I looked at some of the stat. I'm like, yeah, he's pretty much right. I mean,
Yeah.
you get
Oh no, I don't have audio on you. I think something got bumped. Sorry for interrupting, but muted and then unmuted. Any luck? Darn, nothing.
falling apart.
Hey, there we go. Okay, now it works.
Dude, the fuck? Everything's dying on me. Okay. But like, okay, anyways.
Mhm.
Yeah, running a wheel on QQQ because I don't think it's that much more volatile in SPY. Not in these days. But
Yeah, these days, right now, yeah, volatility everywhere.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wow, 66. Thank you for listening. I don't have last comments, and then we got to go.
Yep,
No, Dan is risen.
you're back, Dan.
If your wheel strategy works, then you will move to Wisconsin and change your name to Parmigianio. Oh, okay. I saw where this is going. But like I see these people who do wheel to invest, like individual stocks. I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't get it, but
Yeah,
it's
same.
it's something to do all day. I think that's where why are people doing it? Because if you're home all day, it's probably fun
Mhm.
because you're constantly buying contracts. So there's a bunch of old, rich, retired people that have, they want to do something during the day. So running wheel strategies and, selling puts on individual stocks apparently is fun, I guess. I'd rather just buy stocks and maybe do some option trading, but
Yeah, I think on that note, I am good.
so we will see. At some point, MicroStrategy, please blow. No, I don't know. It's just lunacy. I'm like, I don't know. What are they going to pay this premium or preferred shares with?
NFTs.
Hopes. Yeah, dude, fucking sailor meme coin. You imagine if they do a sailor coin? It's like, wait, I thought you were only about Bitcoin. Now you're about shit coins, whatever.
Yeah.
Officially, I guess I'm officially potato tycoon. You are a fraud, and I deny you exist. Magically, he made money, even though they had accounting fraud and the stock tanked. I guess he's so unique. So, oh,
Potatoes.
get ready for anything, people with Trump. I mean, like we looked at. I mean, you could look at something and everything's sound, and you like the investment, and Trump like tweets out something, and your stock is like cratered because he all of a sudden doesn't like your company. That's why I was like, we looked at like health insurance companies, and I'm just like, man, I don't want to be in that realm because I was pretty sure he wasn't going to focus on health costs, but now it's just like he could tweet all of a sudden and be like, I'm going after health insurance for being too expensive, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's like throw everything out the window. This is what we're going to have to get used to this year.
Yep.
It's almost like you go like mostly index. I was talking to Echoes about this. It's like you almost be like you go like 80% index, and then the 20% you just put in cash, and you just wait for days like Monday to buy shit on like crazy overreaction day, and then you like swing trade and get out. I don't know, like it's going to be real hard to be long term on anything, maybe except for Meta, I guess. So. Although there are still winners out there. Wait, okay.
I have a fun prediction that I don't think there's any like clean way to make money off of. Meta will have an HQ2 bit of news, and they're gonna set up HQ2 eventually in DC.
Yep.
So yeah, we can clip this and then point and laugh at me when I'm wrong somehow.
I don't know. I just think, yeah, it's all there still ahead of us. So stick to your guns.
Yep.
Well, thanks for watching. I don't
Yep.
have much else.
Thanks for having me on.
Tune in. I should put a link to Capital Mindset in my bio.
Yeah, either or.
And Fabio more.
Yeah.
I tell you, people, like, since we talk about Meta, so like I don't think anyone really doubts him on it. I think some people might have, but like Fabio legit dumped like a boatload of money into Meta when it was like $90.
Yeah.
And we were there for the conversations.
Mhm.
Like it's 100% real. The dude killed it. Like,
Yep.
and he used to like when people call him the meta guy, I think he kind of didn't like that.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I mean, you are the meta guy. Like that's what you are. Like you pulled like $500,000 on that trade, probably more now. And then like when it hit 400, I'm like, and then 500, we're all like, he's going to sell. Like 500 was like crazy when it hit. And I'm like, oh, I'm sure he's done. And then, nope. Now it's 700. It's just like, but why would you ever, like, it's amazing what's going on. So, but like, if you're going to be long-term on a company, you're going to go through some ups and downs sometimes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, I love when people say and they are bullish on every stock in their portfolio, but they're a long-term investor. I'm like, that, how do you do that? Like, there's going to be times where your company does stupid shit.
Mhm.
So how can you be long-term and all your companies are bullish?
Oh yeah.
McDonald's has done stupid crap over the years I didn't like.
Yeah.
Didn't get to it, but it didn't go like to the point where I was going to sell it.
Yeah, and like even like really good companies, don't be surprised when you have at least 1 or 2 quarters that produce some ugly headlines.
There
And
was a bad
longer
quarter
term,
for
it's fine.
McDonald's, and I was
Yeah.
like, one bad quarter does not make a company, and
Mhm.
it came right back.
Yeah.
Very fast, because I trust that they are good at responding to crisis. McDonald's is probably the best crisis management company in the world. Since they're so global, there's something's always going bad in the world, and they're there. And they have to react to it. Like everyone hates their guts in the Middle East for a while. Like they have to navigate that. They had to navigate a war in Ukraine. So it's meta decline due to
I think the narrative then was a little bit of that, but also quote, we don't like the spending in the
Yeah.
metaverse.
I mean, I just didn't like Mark Zuckerberg flat out. I don't like Mark Zuckerberg, although he has changed his image better. He's not the lizard man anymore. But yeah, it was a lot of this,
Yeah.
because when they, nobody cares about what he spends on. I mean, we just showed in the financials, they're still spending plenty of money on those Reality Labs works. Nobody cares as long as the company's profits are going, or as long as the company's growing, nobody gives a crap. As soon as the company stops growing, that thesis will come back.
Yeah.
And then everyone's going to be like, well, why are you spending that money on that, dumb project that never goes anywhere? But it's a tech company, right?
Mhm.
Trying to make things that are tech savvy, I guess.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they don't go anywhere.
Mhm.
Other than that, I mean, it's just also everything it was like that combined with people were just negative on tech at the time.
Yeah, yeah, that too.
Man, freaking Amazon was $80 and all these insane things, What a time. Metaverse was a joke. Metaverse was such a it's hilarious. I mean, how he ever thought that was going to become a thing. Like, but he's still they're all trying to convince you that there's something beyond phones. And I'm just not convinced. And then I hear them talk like the phone is not the best application of like AI. A better application AI would be like goggles or something. But people don't want to wear tech on their face. And I'm not convinced that ever's changing. So in my lifetime, I don't know. Like people don't want things on their head. Like glasses, goggle. The only thing is earbuds. People are okay with on their heads. So I don't see what the big deal with the phone is fine. I don't think people want anything beyond a phone. So we'll see.
Yeah. Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Oh well. So thanks for watching. We will
Yep.
do an outro. Which one should I do?
I'm quite partial to Rocco. Friendly Rock.
Sure, why not? That's a good one. All right, thanks for listening. Bye.
Rocco, 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 our favorite rock. Rocco, 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 our favorite rock. Rocco.